And it's time for the Angry Ninja Show. What?
Hey there, my name is Megan Foote, owner of North Star Boudoir Photography, serving Louisville and surrounding counties. We offer a premier boudoir experience at a price point you deserve. Our sessions include a 45-minute pampering, which entails hair and makeup services, as well as food and drinks, and access to a full client closet. And of course, 45 minutes of posing and shooting for fabulous photos that will leave you feeling empowered. Our packages range from $220 to $300. To schedule with us, you can check out our Facebook or Instagram accounts at North Star Boudoir, as well as call or text 502-689-0015. We'd love to have you and help you see the beautiful that you are. Also, if you book with us, please make sure you mention Chris Allen Podcast for a discount.
All right, guys, well, welcome to the show, and we finally did it. We got a co-host. Yay!
What?
All right, it's Lesile Hex. Everybody.
Hello.
So she is extremely funny. You should find her on Facebook and follow her. Just look for Lesile Hex. And that's actually how I got to talk to her, because I was on her Facebook and she just posts the absolute funny stuff and keeps me cracking up and laughing. And me and her were talking about relationships.
Oh my.
And different things. And what actually started the conversation about looks versus sex and all kind of stuff. And she made this post, and it made me want to get her on the show to talk about that, about how important looks is versus personality versus how big the penis is versus
We're just digging in.
just all of it in general, because the post she made, and I don't remember the wording exactly, was, you know, how important one was versus the other, and I got kind of curious what a female perspective is, because my personal perspective is there's something attractive about everyone in the world that would make me want them personality wise, but
Exactly.
but if they don't have anything that's physically attractive, could I make it work? And I don't know. I'm not shallow, but there's some people that are just not attractive at all.
I don't know. I've dated an ugly guy.
Well, see, I'm not saying ugly.
His personality made up for it.
And that's what I lean on heavily in my life, is personality. But I mean, is there a person that could be so unattractive, like?
Are we talking about on the outside?
On the outside.
On the inside.
On the outside. On the inside, they're awesome, right?
Okay. But they're just busted.
Like completely busted.
Okay.
Like went through the ugly forest. When they got out of the ugly forest after hitting every stick, they got onto the Uggablins, took down the road to Ugly, and landed in the Ugg hospital. And
Right.
and you know, not about like physical, we're just like the absolute busted of the busted.
Yeah, I've been with an ugly guy, and he was actually really good in bed, surprisingly.
Tried harder, did he?
I think so. I think he was trying to make up for that. But yeah, it was not bad at all. And no, he was actually older, and he was not attractive whatsoever. He was also dumb as a box of rocks.
But he was a good dude.
But yeah.
So there is, you can be completely busted.
Right.
See, I don't know if I could do that. Does that make me a bad person?
It does not make you a bad person. It makes you a guy. Guys are different in that way. Because for guys, it's more physical. Always will be. Do you know what I mean? Y'all think with the other head. I think in females, it's different. It's about how they're being treated.
Well, see, it's not so much just, I mean, yes, guys do, and Lord knows I'm 100% guilty of thinking with the other head. But it comes to, like, I knew this girl, right? And she was a sweetheart. She was wonderful. She was funny.
Right.
But she was so physically unattractive, I couldn't make things happen.
Right. So, I mean, that's where your imagination comes in. I mean, when you're jacking off, your imagination comes in, doesn't it? I mean, so can't you just apply the same basic, you know, like,
but
just
then I feel
think
like
about.
I'm not in the moment.
Well, no. Sometimes I don't think anybody really is in the moment in sex. You know what I mean? Like, I know my mind's went somewhere else during sex, and it's not been with that person. I'm just being honest.
Well, no, that's what it takes. I actually never even thought about that.
Right.
Okay, so I'll use my imagination.
Yeah, you gotta use your imagination. Tell them to read a book or something so you can't see their head.
Wow. Okay, for the record, if I was with somebody and they started reading the book while we were going at it, I would be like, I ain't doing nothing, apparently. Ooh. It's like my birthday. It's just for me. Never mind. I would feel awful.
Yeah, I guess I would too. But, you know, I was just throwing it out there. That, no, you can think of, some people even think of other people during sex with the person they're with.
See, now, I knew another person who believed that was cheating.
Yeah.
Like, if you even thought about another person.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can throw that in the category, but it's 2023. There's a lot you can throw in that category that just doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, I never like if I'm with one person, I'm only with the person. If I see a cute girl's Instagram picture and like I like it or it's cute, I'm not trying to sleep with that person. I'm not trying to be with that person. I still want to be with you. But no, they 100% that's cheating. Even looking at the picture and enjoying the picture was cheating.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Because people watch porn. That's not cheating.
According to that person, yes.
See, I don't agree.
Yeah, watching porn and whacking off was cheating.
I don't know.
I'm like, what?
I'm just a very possessive person, very insecure person.
I was just like, I don't think that's cheating.
Yeah, I disagree.
Like, I guess I'm a bad person, but I don't think that's cheating. Because it's not like I'm ever going to be with that person in the porn. It's not like this porn star's going to be like, oh yeah, sure, average dude who... I get paid thousands of dollars for this. Why don't you just come on over? I'll do it for free for you.
For free for you.
No. So now if you're talking to somebody with the ideal of being with them, I feel like that's cheating in a way because you're already planning, and that's probably pretty bad.
Unless you're single and you're just talking to multiple people, then that's a different story. You know, until you put like a title on it. Which titles are becoming a big thing now. Like a title is a big thing for me, but there's some men out there that don't want a title, but they want to have everything that comes with the title for all intents and purposes.
And my thing is I'm all right. I want with whatever somebody wants the relationship to be, and just I need to know in advance that way I know where I can invest my emotions. If I'm not investing my emotions, or I am. But I want to know, like. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to know where I stand. That way, I don't do anything I'm not supposed to. I don't, like, and if the person's like, no, we're just friends with benefits, or we're just hanging out, or, you know what, we're starting something, or, hey, you know what, we're in a relationship.
Do you think there really is friends with benefits, though?
I've had it work, and I've had it not.
Right. Like, or, like, say you were a couple beforehand, and then... later on down the road, one of you decides, or both of you decide that it's now going to be friends with benefits. Do you think that? No. I don't either. No. I don't agree.
No, the only way friends with benefits has ever worked in a situation with me was literally, I got on dating websites. I matched with a girl, and I literally would send the message, hey, just so you know, I'm only looking for friends with benefits. Yeah. We can hang out and have sex, but that's it. You know,
it's understood from the beginning. Yeah, it's different. Right?
And that is the only way it's ever worked. And even in that scenario,
it's still,
it still didn't work once. Like, I think I told you about this already, but not the podcast. So I met this girl, just like that. Told her that. We talked. She's like, cool.
Right.
That's awesome. We can make that work. Like, all right, so we're cool. We understand each other.
Sweet.
Met at a hotel.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
Had a good time. Left. And I'm not like such a jerk. Like, okay, I'm done nutting off the bed. Let's go. Like we cuddled and hung out for a minute. And
gentlemen.
I
get what you're saying.
I like to cuddle. Right. So we did that, and then like she started calling people at my job, trying to find out about me. She tried to show up at my job with work. I'm like,
that's a bit much.
I'm like, that's not friends with benefits. You're
right.
You've already got wedding bells in your head, and like we haven't even.
But some girls are like that. Like you can tell them one thing, right?
Yeah.
But they still have it in the back of their mind what they have envisioned, and that's just ultimately what they're going to go for is what they have in the back of their mind, no matter what that person has said.
Right.
Especially once you slept with them.
Right.
And because once your bodies are together, like that creates something that people just don't understand. They even talk about it in the Bible. Do you know what I mean? Like that's your souls really connect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just my out view on it. I can't just fuck anybody without feeling something for them.
And normally I'm like that, but been in situations to where my soul wasn't ready to connect to anyone.
Yeah.
And it's not like something I can always just turn on and off. I have to be in that horrible spot because it's not a good place.
It's not. No.
But and that's where I was at the time. So I could at that point because I was damaged pretty much at that point.
Right.
So once I got past that, now it's, no longer, I'm in that kind of situation now to where I totally agree with you. But at the same time, like when you're so hurt,
Yeah, no, right. It makes
like,
sense at the time, yeah.
You're like, yeah. But now it's like, okay, so that was in the past, let's move on.
Right.
But I think anybody can go through that. Like, I don't think I'm totally unique.
No.
That sometimes when you're hurt, you just do stuff out of, that felt good.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, yeah. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know?
Because let's say the reason people have sex is the same reason people do drugs, is it works.
Exactly. Sometimes it's better.
So yeah, so you can, again, and is that really common for lots of females, just to totally be able to be with a completely butt dude if he's a good dude, and us
I don't
ugly?
think with every female, no, not at all, no.
It takes the special kind.
I guess so. I guess so.
Well, I mean, I know some guys that have very low self-esteem because they won't even try.
Yeah, I know a few like that too.
Like,
that won't, right.
Like, they wouldn't even try to talk to you.
Right.
Because they're automatically in their head, no, she's too attractive, she wouldn't even give me the time of day.
Right.
I look in my mirror and I see butthole.
Like, well, a lot of people are intimidated by, like, a beautiful woman. Just like I'm intimidated by a beautiful guy. Like, I mean, I think it goes both ways, for real. But I'd rather be with somebody, because like I said, I'm intimidated by somebody that looks really good. I don't want somebody that's like out just gorgeous that everybody wants. I don't want that, because then everybody wants it, and then my insecurities come out.
Right.
Because I feel like they look better than me or something. I want somebody that's on the same level. You know what I'm saying? And then if they're ugly, they treat you better, like, or they're a good lay. Like, it's weird how it works like that. But the prettier they are, or the better they look, they suck in bed. They do.
They're like,
suck in bed.
They look good, so I can get away with this.
What?
I look good, so I can get away with this.
Right, so I can get away with this, yeah.
That actually reminds me of a friend of mine from way back in the day. She was telling me, like, she's obsessed with size. Size is her big thing, right? And she was complaining about this guy she had because he's like, it was so big. I'm like, that's what you want.
That's a thing. It's a thing though. If it's too big, I can't do too big.
What she wanted the too big. That's what she wants. But then she's like, but he didn't know what to do with it.
I know that's a problem. Yeah.
And she's like he has this giant thing. It would be perfect.
Just dong and just can't do anything with it.
And he's like, he didn't even try. I'm like, that's because he doesn't have to.
Right.
Because not all women, because some women don't want that, but the ones who do will gladly go out with that guy every single time. Right. He doesn't have to put any effort.
Yeah. See, and for me, it's not even about that. It's the foreplay. That's what gets me. So it really doesn't matter the size. And if anything, it's not the length; it's the width.
Right. So yeah. So I guess everybody's a little bit different. It's hard to be in general. How important, this has come up, people ask me this on the podcast, is the body counts?
Really important, yeah.
It is?
It is. It is for me. Sometimes at the point where I'm like, you know what, just, I know you're a man whore, let's not tell me how many people you've slept with. Like, let's just keep that. You know what I mean? Like, just, don't want to hear it.
You don't even want to know. It's not that you care, you just don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it, Don't want to hear it. Because then it makes me feel gross, or less than, or just one of those numbers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Somebody comes, they're like, I've been with umpteen people. Like, well, what makes me special? Because you'll just fuck anything from what it sounds like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if somebody comes to me and they're like, oh, I've only been with 5 or 6 people, like, kind of want that. You know?
Right.
Like, yeah, let me show you a thing or two. You've only been with 5 or 6 people.
So, is there, like, a number that would be too high if you found out?
I mean, yeah, like, I know somebody that I think he was being respectful and saying that he was with 50 or so. And when I was like, wow, he was like, really? You think that's a lot? Like, then if I told you how many I was really with, you would be appalled.
Wow.
Yeah.
My thing is I don't care, right? Especially like, at my age, I don't care. Also, don't want to know.
Right. Don't want to know.
Like if somebody I've been with has been with 1,000 people.
Like, no, their dick would be falling off.
Right. I'd be like, cool, you've been with 1,000 people, didn't need to know that, don't care to know that.
We're now unattractive. Like,
we're together, we're good.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. I don't care what you did before. If you picked up any awesome tricks, bring those, but that's it. But that's how my brain.
But they could pick up other things too that they could bring that don't go away. Do you know what I mean? So
see, and that's why it's important to get checked. Everybody get checked.
Yeah,
everybody get checked. Yeah, I got my first marriage. Like, we're talking, I should have been married. I was stupid. She was 19. I was like 20.
Yeah, I was 19 when I got married.
Yeah, and it literally, we were divorced exactly 1 year to the day from the marriage.
Yeah, it wasn't long, was it?
No, and I say divorced because the judge waited. He had to have waited to sign those papers on that day. Because there's a certain amount of waiting period, and that's it. It was like 60 days. He held those papers for another 2 months to sign it on that day.
Wow.
Because we've been apart for 8 months, or we'd only been together for 8 months.
That's crazy.
Crazy. You want to talk about like completely heartbreaking? She was only like the second person I'd ever been with.
Oh, that makes it even harder.
I was like completely attached, right?
Right.
So the day I come home from work, walk in the house is empty. I'm like, okay, she went to her friend's. When she went to her friend's house or something, she normally leaves me dinner. Open the fridge, no food. Open the microwave, no food. Check in the oven, nothing cooking.
Oh god.
Okay, that's not normal. And this is pre everybody in the world having a cell phone.
Right.
Because I'm old, we won't talk about it. We had one cell phone, but the person who went to work took it because she had the house phone.
Yeah.
So couldn't reach her, couldn't find her. Finally, I go over to her dad's house. They're staying in a hotel. A little trap hotel. Wonderful place. Yeah. and she's there with the dude. And she's like, oh no, I'm just staying in his room. I just need a day to think. I'm like, think about what? Right?
Right.
She's like, I just need a day to think. And I'm like, because you don't like my family. I'm like, you didn't know these people were your family 3 weeks ago. Right. Well, they just showed up. You were given them for adoption when you were 1.
Oh my god.
And these are your biological. They just showed up. And they want to take over our life, family, whatever. And I was like, no,
not okay.
Not okay. He goes, yeah, well, he's my dad, and I gotta respect him, and I want you to respect him. I was like, I'll respect him, but
there's a difference, right?
So she goes, go home. I'll come home tomorrow. So I call her my job, and I said, I can't come into work tomorrow. Good. She comes over, comes in the house, and we're talking. She's like, I want a divorce. I'm leaving you. Blah blah blah. And then I hear a car horn honking. I said, that's in our driveway. Somebody here. She goes, oh yeah, that's Mitch. He's in the car. I'm like, what? I'm like, and that's the dude. I knew who it was.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's Mitch doing in the car? She goes, oh well, me and him were gonna get married.
What?
I'm like, huh? And then she handed me a list.
Of what?
18 guys that she had sex with while we were married.
Why would she even do that? Like, that was uncalled for.
Like,
that was just to hurt you.
It completely destroyed me.
Right.
Done.
That was just to hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
And on the list, my best friend was on the list. God. And I was just destroyed.
Yeah, obviously.
And then my second thought was, Mitch just got out of prison. He's sleeping with her. So I next day made a doctor's appointment.
Well, yes, you did. Of course you did.
And I got tested, and the doctor said, you're good. I'm saying, oh, cool. And then he's like, why did you want to test? And I told him. Right. And he goes, you need to come back in 6 months. And don't do anything for 6 months. I go, what do you mean? He goes, some of the stuff doesn't show for 6 months.
Oh, like HIV and stuff?
Yeah. I'm like...
So you can have sex for 6 months?
Yeah. So shut it all down. Nothing for 6 months. Go get tested. And ever since then, I get tested regularly. I ain't trying to get nothing that HIV's won't take off. But I'm like, how do you bring the dude you're sleeping with and give the dude a list of the dudes? I'm like,
because she was trying to hurt you.
I was
did you do something to her though? Like that? I mean, that was just a scorned
The whole
woman.
family thing was literally the only thing. Like when
you
I'm
did something to really make her.
it was the family thing. 100%. Like she wanted to move her parents into our house with her 4 brothers, all people she hadn't known 3 weeks before that.
Right.
And I was just like, no.
Yeah.
And then I kind of called my landlord and asked, is it even okay they could stay for a couple of weeks? He said, how many people is it? We're in a 2-bedroom house.
It's not happening. Yeah.
And the landlord's like, they can stay the night. One night.
Right. That's just not. Yeah.
And like I told her, like, landlord, we're gonna let them stay. Well, you don't like them. I'm like, 6 homeless people. You've
It's
never,
like a lot to take in.
Like, this isn't your family from Iowa that raised you. This is people who just got out of prison and just showed up. Like,
I'm like, no bueno.
I'm like, I'll help them find a place. I hooked them up with a church. Like I try to. So she's like, you don't even want me hanging out with them. I'm like, you're right.
Right.
Because they're using you. Our activity went from $2,000 to $100.
Yeah.
Because you.
Were they on drugs?
Later she actually got arrested with them for making meth. So yes.
Go figure.
Like, well, yeah, I was like, what the crap? Like, no.
Right.
But so I was destroyed. Like, and that was just like the most evil way to do it. Like, you couldn't, like.
And she made sure to destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure of it.
I've been married twice and it's ended both times. And like the second time was way more civil. Like,
Yeah.
look, it's just not working. It's over.
Those are always the best breakups.
And so it wasn't bad. So I've experienced both, but like I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, I'm not that ugly.
Like, seriously. No, she was just a bitch.
She was. They got karma. He got killed in a car wreck.
Oh,
like
gosh.
2 weeks later.
God. Yeah. Well, goes around, comes around.
Right? Like, I talked about on the podcast before, so I won't tell the whole story, but like, he had ironically just got out of prison. The reason he went to prison is because he killed the dude he caught having sex with his wife.
And then she gets with him. Like, she's stupid.
Well, like
that.
He'd been out of prison for a week. The first thing he does when he gets out of prison is go sleep with somebody
else's. Right.
Like, you killed a dude for that, really?
And there's some guys that like that. Like, they want what's not theirs.
Yeah, that's never.
Yeah, like, it's a thing. It definitely is. Just like me, for me, I want what I can't get either. Not because they're with somebody, but if somebody's like, no, you're going to. Like, you can't tell me no. Either I'm going to change my mind and not want it anymore, or I'm going to get it. Like, that's it. You cannot tell me no. I don't know how many relationships. Well, no, one lately that he told me I'm unfaithful. I don't want a relationship. Oh, I'm like, okay, it sounds really great and everything. Just out one ear, or in one ear, out the other, and stayed with him for a few months. But I should have listened to him at first because it was true. He didn't want a relationship and he was unfaithful.
Yeah, when somebody tells you out front.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think that's a problem with a lot of people, and not just you. Just you tell me no, and I'm like, no, wait a second.
Right.
Watch me. Watch me. I bet I can.
Right.
And then you're like, you find out, then you can't go like, I could have saved myself a lot of pain.
Right. Or I could for a while. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't. Yeah.
But it was never going to last forever.
Never.
No.
Right.
10 times. So, do you have any questions for a guy point of view? I'll do my best.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I mean, you already kind of answered the one about the physical thing.
Right.
I do want to know why guys cheat. Can you answer that magical question that every woman wants to know?
See, that's actually one question I can't answer.
Right.
Because I have done horrible, whorish things in my life. But I've never cheated on anybody. If I'm with somebody...
You're with somebody.
I'm with somebody. Now, have I looked at one person and went, I've decided I like somebody else more, so we're not going to work, it's over?
Well, see, but that's different. I've
done that.
Somebody would, do that.
Like, the only time I ever even came close to cheating, I honestly was so drunk, I'm not even sure I realized I wasn't with the person I was with.
Right.
Like, I was completely hammered.
Yeah.
Like, I was so hammered, I ended up not cheating because things wouldn't work.
They wouldn't function.
Like, there was so much alcohol in my system. It wasn't going to happen. But I was prepared to. But I literally was to the point of so intoxicated.
They just couldn't.
I didn't even know.
And it's always with somebody that's less attractive than the person that they're with.
Right? If you're
never understood that.
If you're going to cheat on me, at least upgrade.
Upgrade, right. Because then it just makes me like, what am I doing wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Really? This one?
One of the more common things, I had somebody tell me, one of my buddies, the reason he cheated or cheats is because he's done with the person he's with.
Yeah.
And he's just keeping them around until he finds something else.
Yeah, it's like a narcissist. That's what that is.
And he's just like, I don't want to break up with him because I don't want to be alone, but I ain't found something new yet, so I'm going to keep messing around until I find something new. I'm like,
right.
That's cool, just tell her.
Or the ones that, like, they bounce around and then they always come back to
the same one.
I never understood that. Then just stay with that same one. If you keep going back to somebody, it's for a reason.
It's for a reason.
Right.
But at the same time, if they're doing that over and over again, they're never going to stop.
It's never going to change, right.
Or they're going to come back with something Ajax won't take off.
Exactly. We don't want that.
Or they're going to come back like Nick Cannon with 19 kids.
Maury's dead. They can't help those bitches no more.
Oh my God. Like, it's crazy. Oh, I love the Maury show. I'm so sad it's gone.
I know.
He did
You don't
it the
have
best.
Jerry anymore. You don't have Maury.
No more.
That's what we need to come out with. We gotta find these women's babies' daddies.
Right? We need to do that. They do it nice now. They have that paternity court where it's almost like but it's nice. It's not.
Yeah, no, we need something grimy.
She don't let them get all jump up and down and do the baby mama fall.
Right, we want that.
I want the baby mama fall. That was the greatest thing ever.
Yes.
I especially love it like Maury put the carpet in the back with the circle. I used to like score on points from where they landed with the fall.
Epic.
Oh, it was great.
That's
like the Maury show is literally like the Maury show did two things for me. One, taught me be careful for having a kid.
Right. Yeah.
One, don't trust that a woman is a woman because she looks like a woman.
Yeah. Especially this day and age.
Right? Because the Maury show would do that. They bring out the drag queens and they bring out women. And
you
like,
can never tell the difference.
Almost 100% wrong every single time. And I'm like, okay.
Because they would pick like the ugliest women
They
to
would.
go up against the drag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're like, wait
like,
a second.
I'm like, oh. It's like, go to the bar, pick a girl up, you're like, okay.
Bulk up.
Just make sure.
They can't see what you're doing with your hands.
Right?
No, the podcast can't see what you're doing with your
Oh,
hands.
yeah. Sorry,
It's ball cupping.
I did bulk up, yeah. No, I actually had a buddy did that happen to him.
He ball cupped?
No, he took home a girl
Oh.
that
They had a penis?
that had a penis. And I'm pro be whatever you want to be.
Right, me too.
No issues if you're
Right,
gay,
right.
you want to be a woman. Cool. But if you're at a bar that is not designated as a gay bar, like it's a straight bar, and you go home with a dude, there's some things you should not let him find out on his own.
That would suck.
You'd be like, I'm pre-op. Oh, so you got
Bye, right.
or hey, let's go. Some
And some of them, hey.
But yeah.
Some of them are okay with it.
They
said, nothing wrong with it.
They end up getting into a fist fight. I was like,
Not a cockfight.
No. Yeah, eventually I was like, that's messed up. You gotta warn.
I think I see how red my face is right now. Alright, moving on.
Moving aside. Oh. Actually, is there any other questions that you might have?
I don't know, because I feel like I'm being put on the spot. You know
I know
what
you're
mean?
being
So
put
it's
on
like,
the spot.
I don't know. So, I mean, it'll come to me. Something's going to come to me. I guess commitment. That's another question for me, because a lot of people have a problem with commitment nowadays. And, like, the whole, open relationships. And,
Right.
Because it's a thing now.
It is a thing now. And you can make an open relationship work, but there's a couple catches to being in an open relationship.
Right.
One is you have to be really okay with it.
Right. You can't just say you're okay.
You can't just, that's the big thing. People, guys and girls both, in order to be with the person they want to, will agree to something
Right.
that they don't actually okay with.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep with other people too. That's sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
And if you're doing that, it'll last for a little bit.
Right.
And you're not actually going to go sleep with somebody else,
Exactly.
and they are.
And they are, right.
And you're
right.
going to get upset. So you both have to be totally on board with it.
Right.
If you're both totally on board with it, then there has to be rules, and you have to follow the rules. And some of the rules that I've heard people talk about and do is no sleeping with anybody you've had a relationship with in the past.
Right.
No exes, no nothing.
Right.
I had one person tell me that one of the rules was no sleeping with the same person twice.
Oh, that's a good rule.
That way there could be no
Exactly.
attachment,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
commitment,
yeah.
anything like that. Because if you're sleeping with somebody more than once, you're going to get some feelings.
Exactly.
So,
right.
so that was another rule. And another rule was, so it was me and you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your primary, you're my primary. We're the primaries.
Okay.
So if you're on a date with somebody else, or I'm on a date with somebody else,
And you call.
and I call or you call,
Right.
that date ends, you go to that primary person. That's
Right.
where it is.
Right.
Period.
Homestead.
Right. Like,
Right.
and always open and talk. Like, I'm going to go do this with this person.
See, and that's where I would be kind of like, let's have an open relationship, but I don't want to know who you're fucking. Like,
Well, and that could be your rule. Like,
Yeah,
that could be fine.
like,
You can make the rules work for everybody. And as long as both people are okay with it,
Yeah.
it could work. But in the end, most of the ones I've seen that it's generally one person's not actually okay with it,
right.
and they agree to it, and they end up getting more and more resentful, and then
Right.
the relationship fails.
And that would be me. To
Yeah.
be like, no, I'm okay with it because you're a man whore.
Right.
But I'm not sleeping with anybody else. I'm just saying we're in an open relationship. But
And that same kind of stuff also applies a lot to threesomes.
yeah,
Because
those never work.
threesomes are awesome.
Right, they're awesome, but they never work. It's gotta
But-
be with two people you're not attached to.
Right.
Like,
If you're in a relationship with somebody, and then you're like, let's throw a third person in this for one night of fun,
right.
it's going to end badly.
Always.
Like that night might be awesome,
Right.
but in the end, the other person's going to be like, one person's going to get resentful,
Mm-hmm.
and then the only way a threesome in my mind could ever work is if none of y'all are in a relationship together and y'all decide to get together
Exactly, yeah.
and have a good time and then go your separate ways, or
Right.
continue to be friends or whatever it is,
Whatever it is.
but
right.
never be in a relationship with
No,
those people.
it never works. It never works. Especially if you're the one in the relationship and you bring another person in.
Yeah.
The man's always going to show more attention to the other person because it's new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the new.
It's the new. So,
Same reason I always
Jealousy
want the
goes
new
in.
phone.
right. Like, you want something different.
Right.
Like, so you're going to kind of give more attention to the other person because it's new. Especially if you've been with the person, say, for 10 years or something.
Right.
You throw something else in the mix. Like
This feels
yeah,
different.
this is different.
Different is fun.
Right.
Yeah. And that would be bad. And also, I notice guys are real selfish with threesomes. They always want two girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I don't want another dude with you.
Right.
Hold on, dude. If you are willing,
Exactly.
then you need to return the favor and go the other way.
And it never really goes the other way because, okay, if you bring two girls and a guy together, it's, usually the girls like each other too, right?
Yeah.
So they can do their thing as well. And then the guy obviously enjoys that part of it too.
Well, yeah.
But if you bring two guys and a girl, and the guys don't like...
Well, see...
do you see them? You see where I'm getting
Well, I see
to, yeah,
my thing with that is if you did it that way, like... if you're, like, in a relationship with somebody, he wants to bring in a girl, then that's all about him. That's his day.
Right, because he wants to bring the girl. No.
Right. But
I would bring the girl.
vice versa. You're like, cool, I'll do that, but then I want one with the guy, and then that day's going to be all about me.
Yeah.
And that'd be the only way to make it equal, but even then, unless you both really want it...
Right.
Oh, I'm dying.
Are you dying?
No, look, yeah, that's one of those things. It just... If you're actually trying to have a serious relationship, just trying to have fun, it's not going to work.
It's not. No.
We totally agree.
You're dying.
I am dying. I don't know. It is Kentucky rainy weather.
Yes, it is.
I love my job. I love my house. I love the people around me and my friends and family. And I just wish I could take all of it and move it to a state that did not have
Don't have this bullshit.
all this crap. Because, like, go to Tennessee, I'm fine. Go up north, go down to Florida on the beach, I'm good.
You're good,
Here,
right.
can't live off Sudafed. I can't breathe. All right. Well, unless you have any other dire topics, I think we can wrap this one up for today until we do this again, because we definitely need to do this
We're
again.
going to do it again. And then I'll be more...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did great. You're awesome.
I know. But, I'll be better.
All right, guys. So that is the show. And everybody have a wonderful day. All right, guys, that was the show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to help support the show, go to patreon.com/worstjokes. If you want to follow the show on Twitter @cman2342, or just search for the Angry Ninja Show. You find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, find us on Threads. We are everywhere. Any questions? Email asktheangryninja@gmail.com, and I'll answer your question on the show. So yeah, however you want to reach me, we're there. Just remember to search the Angry Ninja Show or @cman234 Twitter, and support the show. Patreon.com/worstjokes. I hope everybody has a wonderful night.